In the first episode of Roses I did called First Cut is the Deepest, I talked about what was the lowest point of my life, where I caught a woman who I was in love with at the time texting another guy about sex that they had after convincing me that we was like going out her way to convince me that we was locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I lost my cool and I slapped her. And what she didn't make it the lowest point of my life. And I always thought like the lowest point in life would be something that somebody did to me. Like my mom's kicking me out as a teenager or like after college getting arrested for some shit I ain't do. But it was like what I did to somebody that I cared about. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I felt like very small. I felt embarrassed. I felt like I wanted to hide from myself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I talked down so much on men who hit women that it just made me feel away about myself. You know what I'm saying? It really made me feel away about myself. And one thing I learned during that experience is that you can't talk down on a nigga for failing the test that you haven't taken. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who I am in my situation. I don't know who I am in your situation. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important to remember. And after that situation happened, I had the highest level of self-awareness that I ever had in my life. Like, I saw myself very clearly, like the good, the bad, the ugly, not just what I want to present to other people or what I want to present on a podcast, on the internet, but I really saw myself for who I really was. And in that moment, I had zero dignity, zero self-respect, zero self-love. And I didn't know whether I wanted to go back to the nigga I was before. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like, how did I get here? Like, how do I get back to who I was? Or do I just want to just rebuild a new man? Because I felt like completely like broken down at the time. And just super embarrassed and you know, not like shit, I'm not who I thought I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt like the first step of me coming out of that situation was trying to forgive myself without excusing myself. You know what I'm saying? Trying to forgive myself without saying like, oh, well, you just did this because she did that. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to forgive myself and take full accountability for my reactions. Because at the end of the day, as a man, you got to control your reactions. So as a person, as an adult, you got to control your reactions. Because if I don't control my reactions, then I'm not a man, I'm a puppet. Like somebody could get me to do anything. Somebody could get me to jump out of character at any moment for any reason. So I think that was very important. And I think a big part of that was sitting down and feeling the full emotions of guilt without running from that. Also not believing her when she told me that it was her fault and really like, you know what I'm saying, not taking
She said it was her fault that you hit her?
Yeah. Like, yeah, she told me it was.
That probably made you feel even worse.
Yeah. Like it didn't make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? Like it definitely made me feel like I can't even really describe it, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the whole experience, like I say, it just really showed me who I was, and it really was a process to try to move past and try to forgive myself. So today we're gonna talk about how to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? How to forgive yourself without excusing yourself, without just brushing off the actions that you did, regardless of what the consequence of those actions was. How to forgive yourself and use some of the hardest moments or toughest moments of your life as a turning point for growth.
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
Popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
popping pills,
That's just what comes with being a man.
popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucking body.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halos on God in the king.
That's what we on today, man. Welcome back to Roses I Did. I'm Terry Roseland.
I'm Jones.
And today We back, man. We got some good conversation for y'all as usual, man. Shout out to everybody in the Patreon. We've been chopping it up, talking a lot more, having some solid conversations in there, man.
Sure.
A lot of people in there is from North Carolina, so motherfuckers might need to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn there.
Different parts of North Carolina, but you know what I'm saying? They from there. So, and a decent amount of them came from Tahoe, so shout out to Tahoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man. How your week was, though?
Cool. Work is actually, I've been telling y'all about work. Y'all probably feel like y'all work with me, but that shit's smooth. Like it's at a pace and a level where I don't really mind going to work right now. It's like, all right, cool, settle. Still, the pressure's still there to perform and all of that type of shit, but I've gotten better along the way where I feel like I'm way more equipped to do my job confidently, and yeah. And that was important for me to make sure I could do my job, to the highest level, not for any other reason other than I didn't want to feel like I didn't want to leave that company without doing a good job. Like I was running from, because it was difficult or some shit. Like it was hard. Like I'm out. It was like, nah, like before I leave, when I leave, I want to be able to say that like I was doing my job. I was doing it right. Expectations were met, and I can move on and go to the next thing versus leaving at a low point and failing. So that's move. My back, y'all be asking about my back. I feel like y'all fuck with me. My back is cool. Like today was like the first day in the gym where shit just felt normal. No pain, no nothing. That shit felt good. Cause the first nigga couldn't even walk. So I'm smooth right now.
For sure. For me, I got a bad memory, but it'd be hard to remember what happened during the week. But
my therapist be telling me you need to write this shit down.
Yeah, the carnival was decent.
Which one?
The carnival we went to.
We went to like 2. What, the ride joint?
What else we go to?
And we go to like 2. Oh no, that wasn't a carnival. That was a fest.
What fest?
Wicker Park Fest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the weekend was lit.
Yeah, right. You done forgot about the whole fest.
Yeah. The weekend was decent. It was decent. And I ain't gonna say like those fests wasn't the most lit shit in the world, but it was a decent little weekend. We put it all together though.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I don't know, man. It's August already. It's like the year fucking flying by, like in a crazy.
We finna approach holiday season.
Oh, I got down to my 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups under 10 minutes.
You did all that in under 10 minutes?
Proud.
Damn.
I think I could get under 8 if I switched to reps. Because right now what I'm doing is 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups, 25 squats. And then I'm just going back and doing it again 4 times.
You can do 50.
I'm trying to do 33. Like 33, 34. And run through it. And if I could get under 8 minutes. If I could do 50, I could get under 6 minutes. Because what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What's the most amount of push-ups you did without stopping?
70. In life?
Yeah.
70. I can't do that right now, though.
Okay, yeah. Mine about...
Maybe I could, I don't know.
70, 75, some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's weird. I always stay prepared to do that at any moment. It'd be so... Right. You never know when niggas be like, come on, let's do some push-ups.
Oh, somebody at my job said, like, because, we all be working out, and they had these workout challenges. Somebody tried to challenge me on something like, how many push-ups can you do? I was like, right. one more than you. Like, whatever. Nigga, he was like, all right. I'm like, all right, nigga, like, what is he talking about? It don't matter.
I'll be ready for that shit.
It don't matter. Man, I met a Venezuelan today. I was finna put it on Facebook. I met a Venezuelan today. Y'all, they cool. They can stay. He a pro boxer, though. He was at the gym. And he was talking to me on the Google Translate shit. He's saying somebody had stabbed him or something, like the other day. Somebody had stabbed him up and shit. It's just crazy, bro. It's just crazy.
Somebody stabbed him the other day and he was training in the gym.
Nah, he wasn't training in the gym. He was just walking past the gym. But I had seen him in the gym a few times, and the owner of the gym let him come in there and wash his clothes.
Okay, I was finna say, like, whoever stabbed him, boy, he is getting ready for your ass.
Yeah, nah. But he's just saying, like, a random nigga just stabbed him. Or a random nigga ran up on him and stabbed him. And
God damn.
But he said he was talking to me because I look like a pro boxer from Colombia. He's like, you pro? He's like, how many fights you had so far? I'm like, I'm not a pro boxer. He's like, oh, he's like this guy from Colombia. I'm like, nigga, I'm glad I don't like the nigga that stabbed you. Like, what do you mean? I can't just be looking like niggas out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, I hate that shit, bro. Can't Can't be looking like niggas in Chicago, bro.
I
Your
don't
ass
look like the nigga that stabbed you. That's funny.
you get smoked. But yeah, other than that, man. Speaking of boxing, the girl they were saying that the lady from Italy, the boxer, had to fight a man and she got hit and quit and lost. And then now I'm hearing that it's not a man and it's just a woman that has a lot of testosterone. I'm like, why are they calling her a man if she's not a man? I don't understand. Like, what the fuck be going on? Like,
because she hit hard?
They say she just got hella testosterone, which physically makes her have the strength of a man.
Okay, yeah.
Well, which I get that, but it's like, she owns a vagina. She owns a vagina. Like, I'm sorry. Like, y'all just got to deal with that shit. Like, she's just a strong-ass lady.
There's some strong-ass ladies out there.
Like, but I feel like it's other athletes that have freakish physical gifts, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
a ton.
Michael Phelps is a fish,
right?
Essentially. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That nigga,
like,
the fucking fingertips go past his knees.
Bro, and he got, like, a fucking torso longer than his fucking dog, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you was made to swim. Like, that's not fair. Right. But it is though, because it's like, nigga, so if she just strong as shit, she just strong as shit. Like, some niggas she just Wolverine.
Hey man, the Lord said your gift will make room for you, so you better get out of her way.
Y'all can't give her a dick though. Y'all had me up here feeling sorry for this white ass lady. That's why I don't feel sorry for white people. Yeah. This is why I don't. And I said on the post, I was like, it's hard for me to feel sorry for white people. I feel sorry for this white lady. Then they come back like, oh, it's not a man. Like, see, this is why I don't fuck with y'all. Every time y'all, it's something wrong with y'all. It's really nothing wrong with y'all. Like, it's really like y'all just finessing. Should be crazy, man. Anyway, consultation. Let's do it. That's where we at, right?
Yeah.
All right. The consultation today comes from Threads. Let's get to it. This reads, in 2016, I got out of prison and I dated this young lady who made a lot more money than me. She cooked, she cleaned, she was a true nurturer. She let me borrow her car. She helped me find a job. She was calm. She was everything I could have asked for. But deep down, it felt wrong because I wasn't financially or emotionally stable. In the back of my mind, I felt like she deserved more. I didn't feel capable of leading a relationship. So I ended it, and I don't regret it one bit. What do you think?
I think he made the right decision.
I think he made the right decision.
Absolutely.
There's some women in the comments who feel like he finessed her because basically she did a lot for you. You got what you needed, and then you left. You know what I'm saying? Like, she did everything for me. Let me drive her car. Ooh, you know what? I didn't like it, and I left.
That's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women kind of like, this sounds like some bullshit you tried to frame as some good shit, and they weren't fucking with it.
You know, I low key, ain't gonna lie, I probably missed that part. I was responding to a message.
For me, when I read it, my first initial reaction to it was he might not have knew his worth, and it's kind of what we've been talking about the last 2 episodes, right? And
guys finding a value outside of finances.
This woman was everything you wanted because you couldn't match her financially. You felt like, I'm gonna just leave instead of I'm gonna assist her in the things that she needs to do, but also play my other roles as a man and still be the man of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, protecting the woman, problem solving, making sure she got everything that she needs to deal with what's on her plate, as well as still building yourself up as well. And she helping you build you up. So it's not like you just her fucking Stedman or her sidekick. Like, she's actually helping build you up. You should be helping her maintain what she got.
That was the perfect opportunity for a true partnership with your companion.
Absolutely.
Like, she did everything she was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and I think that relationship would have been fruitful on when he did come up and things like that. So now the only thing when I reread it, like I thought that I reread it, and the only thing that made me feel like he might have been like valid for leaving was the fact that he said he was also emotionally unstable. So because a nigga fresh out that's emotionally unstable, it's probably a problem. Like, it's probably a problem.
Yeah. So
shout out to my niggas that's fresh out. No offense to y'all. I hope y'all doing well.
Come to our live shows and meet Terry.
The fuck they want to meet me for?
Because you just kind of put him under the bus a little bit.
I hope y'all niggas is emotionally stable. You know what I'm saying? we got a program, Grow Community, you feel me? Like re-entry program. Yeah. But yeah, that's that on that, man. Let's get to the real topic of the day. So I talked about something I had to forgive myself for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into kind of like deeper into how that feels on the front end, on the back end, and things like that. What's something that you had to forgive yourself for in a relationship?
Yeah, this one gonna be it. Yeah, this gonna be one of the ones. So something I had to forgive myself for was being so green early on in like my dating career.
Yeah.
Right, there were certain things I just didn't know. It was some things that I put up with, didn't stand up for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had before that happened, I had this image of myself, right? Based off what I was doing, how I was quote unquote winning in dating. Then I, like you said, about the test, you can't really judge somebody until it's time for you to take that test too. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, I didn't really take that test of, I don't even know what to call it, but just being in that situation where I was vulnerable, and who I was when I was vulnerable didn't match up with how I saw myself before that situation. Like I thought this highly of myself, but in that situation, I'm putting up with shit. I'm just anything to stay in the situation, and that did not make me feel like a man at all. It made me feel soft. I felt, again, just super vulnerable, less than. It wasn't a good feeling, especially when you had this image of yourself, and now that somebody put that mirror, like, nah, this is who you really are. This is how you really acting, or whatnot. So that was it was embarrassing for me, and nobody really knew about it. But when it bothered me, and that's who it was supposed to bother.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard thinking back. You ever, especially when you grow, you do the work, you get yourself to a certain place, and then you think back on things you had to forgive yourself for, and it's like, I can't believe I did this, or I can't believe I was putting up with that, or I can't believe I let this slide, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You could really beat yourself up about that.
You can.
And it's not healthy. And we got to remember that in that situation, or in those type of situations, anytime we doing anything, we doing the best that we can do with the knowledge that we currently have. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
in that situation, that I had to know how to work on forgiving myself for that.
Yeah, that
took some time.
That's dope. I heard Myron Golden one time say, like, everybody is doing the best they can for who they are right now. You know what I'm saying? That was deep, but that was some dope shit though.
Yeah,
that's some real shit.
So, like, how do we? Oh, well, okay. So now I guess we'll talk about, how do you forgive yourself?
I don't want to go there. I want to go back to your story.
Okay.
I feel like I want to know what happened. I mean, you don't have to say what happened if you don't feel comfortable saying what happened, but I kind of want to know, like, some of the things. Because I say that not just for me personally to be nosy and know what happened, but for niggas that's listening to relate to and attach to.
For sure.
Even myself, shit.
Because a lot of niggas play that macho role. A lot of niggas play, man, I ain't tripping on that shit. Ooh, blah, blah.
You get in that relationship, you going through that phone, you jumping out that window.
All that shit, right?
I'm going to kill myself, bitch.
Nah, we ain't going that long. Y'all niggas do. Hey, stop doing that shit, man. Stop saying I'm gonna off myself.
I don't want to be here. She's like, go home. They're like, no, on the earth, bitch. I want to be here.
Oh man. So one of the things. Oh man, this is low. So one of the things. This was the first thing that popped in my head. It was plenty of situations, but
yeah.
I found out that she was talking to somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm feeling the way about it, whatever the case may be. And I think I agreed to, I'm like, all right, you can talk to him, but don't let me find out. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to see nothing about it. I don't want to know. Like,
knowing that that's not what you really wanted.
No, that's not what I really wanted.
You really wanted to stay in the picture so bad.
Yeah, right. I just wanted us to still have some type of connection to where it's just like, all right, if I could still have access to you, I'm still getting everything I want, but on the back end, you doing what you want to do with somebody else too. It's like, I want to act like that doesn't exist.
How long was y'all dating before that happened?
Close to a year.
Shit. So y'all was like exclusive. Y'all feel like y'all was on the way to a relationship.
Oh yeah, it was. I was gone. We was motherfucking spending, nigga, every day together, like every day.
Yeah.
Like so, that's the thing. Like when you dating, people always try to measure like, oh, how long before you should be this, or how long before a relationship, or how long. I don't think the length of the situation or relationship matters. Is the time spent in that duration of time.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could date somebody for 6 months and y'all only seeing each other maybe once or twice a week or some shit.
Yeah.
And somebody else could be dating for 6 months and y'all seeing each other every fucking day. Like the progression of that relationship and that bond is gonna grow way faster than y'all seeing each other.
Yeah. Like some college relationships, you with a motherfucker for 14 days straight after you met him. Like, I'm in love. Fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. Like, spending every day together. So, shit just progressed quickly, and it was just a bad time, and especially with after I built myself back up and all of that, I just think back and be like, what the fuck? But
it's like cringy to think that you.
It's
went
cringy
for that.
as fuck.
Yeah, and you was aware that like so she was not just saying she wanted to date another guy, but she was having sex with this guy.
Yeah,
and you knew that.
I knew that. Yeah, for sure.
And you felt like at the time you like, damn, I still just want to. Did you make you look at her differently?
I was so fucking.
Like she could have did anything.
I'm like, nah, I get it.
Yeah. So you kind of like, I ain't gonna say switch places. It's not like,
yeah, because you don't want to put a gender on that because we talking about emotions.
Yeah,
like, anybody can feel like that.
Yeah, it's not like the woman is default the person who goes for that, and the man is default the person who is doing that. But commonly, that's what you see the public in the public eye. You see a man who's like having his way, and a woman who just like accepting anything. So, but in that situation, it was the opposite. And I think the reason why we don't see that publicly is because niggas keep it low. Mm-hmm. Like, niggas ain't talking about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Look,
niggas ain't telling that story.
You'd have never heard that shit if I wasn't on this podcast.
For sure. For
you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure. Absolutely.
So, but I know a lot of niggas, they I'm glad I went through that at a young age, though.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be fucked up. You 35 acting like that.
And those situations are important because it's just like, you went through it and now you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now you know. So, let me ask you this. Let me see. I had some good questions lined up. What was the most difficult part? Okay, so that's something you had to forgive yourself for being green, for not having boundaries, for not, standing on your self-respect, dignity, and things like that.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about the process of forgiving yourself? Well, you asked, how do you forgive yourself? So I guess that's a better question to start off with.
I could say, so the hardest part of, I wanted to answer the first question you just said.
What was the hardest part?
What's the hardest part about it?
Yeah.
The hardest part about it was just the constant replaying of scenarios in your head. Like, especially when you grow out of that place and you grow, thinking back, it's like, I should have did this. I should have did. You do a lot of replaying of the different situations that you was in, and that's hard when you're trying to forgive yourself. Because you're in the process of forgiving yourself, you're like, all right, I ain't know, whatever the case may be. But then with your new knowledge, you're taking that new knowledge and putting yourself back in that situation like, I should have played it like this, or I'd have did it like this. But if I knew, that's the hardest part. Mm-hmm. Learning to just completely, I didn't know. I felt how I felt. I was genuine. It was a real, emotion that I had. Whatever. Cool. So the hardest part is just accepting it.
Yeah, I feel like for me that hardest part was like, I think it's the same thing, like feeling like knowing like this thing gonna be on me forever.
Yeah,
and it's like the world don't know, but it could just, even if that one person just know, it's like that stain is gonna be on me forever. And it's a lot of stuff that I'm vulnerable about and could just talk about. That was something that was just like, I mean, when I said on the first episode, you was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just not something that I talk about because, and like, it's kind of like I look at life like 8 Mile, like how the nigga was like, he said everything wrong with him and stood on it. And it was like, you can't tease somebody about something that they're like comfortable with. Like if they own their story, like if I own my story and put it out there myself, you can't, you gonna look like a weirdo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I come out and be like, oh yeah, I was fucked up and poor and dirty as a kid and da-da-da. and you come out and say something about that, you gonna be like, why the fuck is you talking about him being poor as a child? Like, what's wrong with you? Right? But if I'm embarrassed about it, you be like, nigga, I remember you was dirty as hell in 6th grade, and I'm out here acting like I was always the freshest nigga in the world.
Right.
Now I look crazy. You know what I'm saying? And now I feel embarrassed and things. So I feel like you can't own your story. I couldn't own that, like, for a long time. Like, I couldn't. Like, and I just felt like I wish it just didn't happen. Like, I wish that I could just Men in Black some shit and just make that shit not happen, because I felt like, damn, like, and I look at shit like what go on with Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why I just never wanted to mention that shit. Like, because I was podcasting when that shit happened. I wasn't there for to talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at what go on with Chris Brown. But then I'm looking at other niggas who kind of just don't matter. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's other niggas who, like, the world just don't give a fuck that like did what he did. Or like, I ain't even gonna go there and just like throw niggas' name out there. I'm gonna edit that out.
Hey, I think you just caught a stray.
But it's a lot of niggas though. I guess it's just they brand to where like people just don't care. Like they just don't. You know what I'm saying? Then there's other people where they do, and then I guess you beat up Rihanna. Like that's different.
That's strong.
But all in all, yeah, that was just some shit that was hard to own. So I say that was the hardest part for me in that situation. But the steps to go through
okay. So what about this? All right. Another thing that's difficult, touching back on the maybe other people won't know, but the person know.
Yeah.
So now you've grown into this new person. You're far from that, and this person knows. But it's like, can you stand confidently in front of that person?
No.
And and be this new person you are.
No.
Knowing that they knew the old you.
No. And that's, people will always ask me, can I see myself getting back with her? And I'm like, I could never be the nigga I am today with her.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. And it's just like, cause that part of me is always gonna be a part of me.
Yep.
That's not the core of who I am. That's not the totality of who I am, but it's in there. It might be deep down in there, but she can see it. And that might be all she can see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just, I don't know. And that kind of made me feel like, damn, have I fully forgiven myself? Like, I don't know.
There's some things I haven't fully, that I forgave myself for that.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm gonna talk about some other stuff that I'm still working on currently, because ain't nobody just perfect. But like for guys in that situation like me, that's why we said this on the pod probably like 3-4 years ago when I came on your pod. And you better off, like if you used to be a certain way, right, in a relationship with a woman, and you didn't like that version of yourself, and you work on yourself, you build yourself up, and now you're this new person, you're better off finding a new relationship, like with a new woman. Like, cause you can't stand confidently, and it's not even on purpose. She's gonna see you how she met you and how you acted in that relationship. Like, because in her eyes, it's gonna be like you're faking, but this is who you are. This is the new version of yourself. But people usually see you how they met you, and so
it's just tough, man. I'm kind of at a loss for words with it, to be honest. Like, it's just I don't think I could ever be 100% confident with who I am in a tight situation with that person. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes
they kind of just got, some people just got your card, man. Some people just kind of got your number. Yeah.
And then it's hard for people to accept that. Like, they gon' it's hard to be, you trying to be a new person and, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, especially like a nigga, to give you an example, a nigga who used to be in the hood or whatever, and now he on his educational path, or now he, trying to be, successful in the real world type shit. Like, who does this nigga think he is? Like, what the fuck is you, what is you wearing? What you got on? What you finna go on an interview? Goof ass nigga. But you used to be on the block right with them. Yeah. And it's like, I can't be this new person around y'all. Yeah. I gotta change my environment and just get around people who meet me at this new version.
Yeah, and it's weird though, because like, you can't own it to the rest of the world. Like, the rest of the world can know that about you,
and still they won't.
And if they try to use it against you, it wouldn't bother you. But if that person that was there and that it happened to them and they experienced it, it's just different. It's like, and I don't even know how to put. That's the part where I'm at a loss for, because I don't know how to put that into words. Why is that way? But it's like, it's crazy, man. It's kind of like,
does that mean that we haven't fully forgiving ourselves?
That's what I just said. Like, yeah, he just hit the same light bulb just went off in my head, just went off in his head. Like, wait,
I'm just thinking. I'm like, I just said I forgave myself, but if
maybe
I was
not fully though.
Probably not, because if I was in front of that person and she'd probably look at me like,
you'll still feel small.
I still feel small in a way.
Yeah, especially if they bring it, like maybe not.
Would they bring it up too? Or?
In your daily interactions, I'm pretty sure you can interact with that person and you can have a good time with that person. You can kick it with that person, but if it get too emotional, too vulnerable, we get to talking about the past, it'll start. Now you kind of start feeling nervous and shy and embarrassed, and yeah, it's tough, man. But it's almost like the analogy I make to it is like if you was a crackhead,
this nigga,
because we all know crackheads, right? Yeah,
I know.
Okay. So if you was a crackhead, right, and then like you decide that you clean yourself up, you decide you're not on crack no more, people are not gonna believe you, right? Especially if you stole from them, like you did a lot of crackhead shit around them. They caught you like smoking crack in their bathroom at a party or something. Like it's Thanksgiving, like you smoking crack in the bathroom, like the kids like, what the fuck is that smell? Like what I'm saying? It's crazy. So like you done fucked up the family essentially. You decide you off crack, and you've been off crack for like a year. It's next Thanksgiving. Niggas catch you smoking a cigarette in the back. So I knew this nigga still was on crack. Like there's a cigarette. It's not even like
motherfucker.
You get what I'm saying?
Motherfucker, get up. Let me take my keys.
You could be an ounce of who you were, and they gonna see all of who you were.
Yeah.
And then even like it takes other people to validate you to that person though, because like if you had a crackhead in your family who did a lot of wild shit, and they say like let's say they got a job, like that's why I hired this nigga. They wild as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna be like, oh, that's dope, he got a job. You like, they wild as hell for hiring that nigga. Like, right? He would have to like essentially probably keep that job for like 2 years and get a promotion for you to believe like, oh, he's really not a crackhead no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it takes so long in the validation of something else for a person to say like, oh.
It's almost like trust.
Yeah. It's almost trust, like reputation, all this shit.
You break trust. You gotta motherfucking be trustworthy for 2 years before motherfucker. Yeah. Sometimes even longer.
And I think that's why, like, when it comes to that cheating shit and all that, it's like that's why I be like, I'm not on that because
it take too long to get back there.
It's too much that come with that shit, bro. It's like the shit you go through in your relationship when your girl don't trust you no more. You really be feeling like, bro, I just wish I wouldn't have done that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not worth it at all.
Then you damn near be feeling bad to walk away. Like, it's my fault. I'm fed up with me.
For sure. All right, what's something that you struggle to forgive yourself, or that you had to forgive yourself for as a father?
That's crazy, nigga. That's crazy. I got a whole section on that.
There you go.
So I actually don't even know if I'm going to have to forgive myself when it comes to fatherhood, right? Mm-hmm. Because I can feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Like I see myself as a good father. I know everything I do and how I show up, whatever the case may be. But that's almost the equivalent of somebody that's in the dating market and they feel like their worth is here, right? Yeah. But the market actually gets to determine that. Like you can feel that way, but then the market tells you your value because the people who you're interested in is going to tell you your value. Yeah. And so when it comes to like fatherhood, we're really not going to know just how good of a job we've done until our kids are kind of grown.
And they tell you.
Right?
I don't believe that though.
But no.
Fuck what they talking about.
No, check it. I'm going to tie it all together. Go ahead. So when they get grown and let's say they feel like, oh, you wasn't there in the way that I needed you to be there. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't do the things that I needed you to do. And you did your best, but they still feel that way. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't mean that you're a good father or a bad father or whatever, but that's something that you're just going to have to find out later. It's almost like I remember Charleston White, I hate to quote the nigga, but Charleston White says,
I fuck with Charleston White.
He says some real shit. Right, exactly.
Yeah. Lately, even
wilding. But one time he said some shit. He said, you're not going to know how great of a man you was until you die. Mm-hmm. Like then you'll get, all the flowers and they go, oh, he was this, he was that, he was that. Like the job is not going to be.
my lifetime achievement award like Usher.
Like today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? when it comes to fatherhood, I kind of see it in that same way, and we got to wait till the kids get grown or whatnot. Because how many times have kids have come out in their adulthood and they've expressed themselves, their parent like, I was there for you, I did this, and they got this long list of, nah, nigga, I needed you this. Like, I was emotionally hurt, I was this, I was that, and you wasn't there. But then again, we doing the best that we can do with the information we have. And so the reason why I be on top of being a good dad is so I won't feel like I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the long run. Like, I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do right now. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do everything.
I think the disadvantage that we all have as parents is that we don't know the world that our kids are gonna grow up in and that they're growing up in.
Yeah.
So I could do the best I can to prepare you, but I'm preparing you for the world that I live in. I can't prepare you for the world that you're gonna live in.
Yeah.
So my father was get a job with benefits, work till you die.
Facts.
That's not the world we live in. So he don't understand why the fuck I would quit teaching to be an entrepreneur. He like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? and you know, I had to forgive him because it took me about it. Like, I felt like he put me on a road without a roadmap. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was not prepared for the real world, but it's like he prepared me for the fucking 90s. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing that's scary with the different worlds with our kids, like, we grew up with social media, but not really. Like, well, if you like our age, like, we didn't have Instagram and, you know, TikTok and all that shit, Snapchat in high school, right? These niggas got this shit
from birth.
You know what I'm saying? And
they don't know what it's like to not have it.
Right. And to us, it's like we grew up I feel like we grew up in the perfect time. We on both sides of the fence.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So the whole social media thing, some of us, y'all do be getting caught up in it, and you be getting lost in the sauce with that. But we don't know just how much it affects them. Like, just how much.
Yeah.
To me, like, these don't worry about them people online. That's some bullshit. These ain't nobody. But when you growing up with it and your peers is around it, everybody is affected by it. Everybody is moving based off of social media and trends and all that shit. We don't know just how much they internalize and what they need to be to their peers, or how their image that they need to uphold and how it looks. And like, we got an idea because we're halfway on that side, but for them to grow up with it from birth to now, it could affect them way heavier than it affect us. It's fucking some adults up right now.
It is fucking some adults up, man. I remember when Snapchat had went down, and I was teaching 5th grade, and you would have thought it was the fucking apocalypse, G. Like, they was wilding the fuck out. Like, and I'm like, I realized at that moment, like, oh, y'all had this shit for y'all whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go without this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I be on this shit, but I could definitely go without this shit.
I think I open that app like every 2-3 months.
What, Snapchat?
Snapchat, yeah.
I mean, social media, period. Like, you know, I'm on this shit, but I could, like, if it come down to it, I would probably feel relieved if all
like,
this shit
if
went
it just
away.
like crashed and nothing mattered.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay.
I would kind of feel relieved to
Yeah.
get back to normal life, to be honest. I feel like if we didn't have this podcast, I would delete my Instagram, to be honest.
Nah, it's a lot that I would you know, I think I made a post not too long. I'm like, man, if I could just not use this shit and be wealthy, I wouldn't have it.
You just imagine the life of somebody right now who's not on social media, like, at all.
Like, peaceful.
Nigga, you probably be like, oh, they talking about 50-50. Like, what are you talking about?
They just green.
Like they have no idea none of the shit that's in our head that be like irritating us on a daily basis. They probably just blissful as fuck. Yeah.
What about you though? Like, when it comes
as
to
a father, for not having a 2-parent household for my kids. That's number one. And that one not as hard to forgive because, you know, I grew up in a 2-parent household that was dysfunctional. So it's like a 2-parent household don't necessarily mean it's a better situation all the time, because the parents got to be functional. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Another thing that I had to give myself for is my relationship with my younger son, which we have a great relationship, but it's like he lives far as fuck. I always say he lives in Zimbabwe, but I could get there more, you know what I'm saying? And just like weekends and shit like that, I could get there more. It's like a 2-hour, like there and back is like a 2-hour ride. You know what I'm saying?
There and back?
Yeah, there and back is a 2-hour ride. And the relationship is not of that to where I'm just gonna be over there, you know what I'm saying? Like that. You feel me? So
the relationship with who?
with his mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not to where I'm just gonna post up over there like that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really like going out there, coming back, shit like that. Plus his school is out there, everything, his whole life is out there. So I wouldn't be able to on a weekday take him to school and get to work. Like that, it just would never work. You know what I'm saying? However, I feel like if I wasn't podcasting on top of my job, I could spend way more time with him. So I feel like I'm picking podcasting over him at times. And that's like always been a point of contention because even when the pregnancy happened, that was my thing. Like my life is changing drastically right now. Like this is 2021. I quit teaching to go be full-time entrepreneur. We had the Turo shit going. We had the print shop going. We had the clothes. I had just
a lot going
got
on.
the building and like was switching out tenants and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what my life financially is gonna look like in the next 6 months to a year because I'm going on a new journey. Like this is like a horrible time to have a child. You know what I'm saying? Move forward. So she moved forward anyway. She made the decision to move forward anyway. And it was like I can't use that as an excuse now. Like that was, even though that was my reason, it's kind of like now that it's happening in real time, like my life is still crazy and it's hindering that relationship. I can't really use it as an excuse. So that's something I beat myself up like silently a little bit about sometime. Like damn, like, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I never see my kid. I don't want to paint that picture out. I do. Like I do. I get out there on weekends and shit like that. Got a great relationship with his mom, got a great relationship with him. But I see Carter like that nigga pretty much live
every
here.
day.
Like that nigga's upstairs right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? He lived 20 minutes away. So if I could pull up, go see him. He got a phone. You know, it's just like maybe that's the problem, is that I'm comparing it to that relationship. Maybe that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm comparing, like me and Carter so tight and always been that way from the jump versus like with him, I'm just missing shit. You know what I'm saying? I like, you know, babies develop so fucking fast. So in a week, he'll go from saying, you know, to not saying a word, to now he's saying a word, to all this shit. And it's just like, I don't know, it bothered me.
On the bright side, that bothering you, that's a good thing, though. Like, some niggas, they'd be like,
Not give a fuck.
not even notice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, damn, wait, I gotta go see that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Yeah. I'm just not used to being like weekend dad. Like I'm used to being like there.
Yeah.
Like the whole run. Like knowing the teachers, picking you up from school. Like, I don't know his teachers and shit. Like I met them before. I drove out there to, you know, take him to school before. That's just some shit that can't happen on a regular. Like I can't do that shit on a regular. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just can't. Like I won't be getting back to the city at 10 o'clock. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
What would have to happen? Or what does it look like for you to be able to just go out there whenever? I'm talking about just whatever it is. Like, how could you be able to just pull up on him and spend time out there, whatever the case may be? What would have to happen? What would have to happen? God damn, I'm fucking up.
I would have to. I can't even say. I would have to have complete financial freedom. Obviously,
that's what I was looking for.
But I even think with that, like that shit don't be that sometime. Like it be that. Like the complete financial freedom is like if I have a parent dying, I could be by their bedside every day. Cause it's like an emergency like that. But like if I own businesses and shit, it's not like shake that ass time. I still gotta work. Like I still gotta be places and do shit. So I might be able to get out there more, but it's still not gonna be a situation where I can just go out there like whenever the fuck, whatever the fuck I want. I think that's like not a myth of financial freedom, because you do got a lot more flexibility in time. That's a fact. But it ain't like you could do whatever the fuck you want whenever. Like Jeff Bezos ain't doing whatever the fuck he want. Like he gotta check some shit, talk to this person, talk to that person. Ooh, can he do the shit from Bali? Yeah, he can. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, like I'm pretty sure his calendar is full. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
for sure.
What's next, man? What's something that you had to forgive yourself for as a leader? Whether that be in business or in the community.
This is funny. You didn't tell me none of this shit, but I got answers for all of it.
Good shit. You did good.
So I had to learn how to forgive myself for failed opportunities. And
damn, it's a good one.
I had to learn how to forgive myself. And excuse me, I'm learning how to forgive myself.
Yeah.
This is the one that I'm still working on. I'm learning how to forgive myself for failed opportunities. When you are as ambitious as I am, you got drive and all of that, and you go after something that don't turn out how you want it to turn out, you can beat yourself up about it, especially when you've used, resources. You sacrifice resources, you sacrifice time, and you put your all into it, and you didn't get the results you wanted. I'm not gonna say you, me, just be transparent with y'all. What I'll do is I'll be thinking about where I would be if I didn't take certain risks, years back or whatever. Like what I could have done with those resources, what I could have done with that time. And I have to make a conscious decision on reminding myself that, hey, I was doing the best I could with the information I had. But as good as that sounds, that's not easy for me. Like I'll still, especially if like I'm not where I want to be, and it's like, damn, if I'd have fucking just didn't do this and just invested that money over here, like you play that scenario game, and that's something I'm still working on. I talked to my therapist about that. She constantly got to reset my thought process on, helping me focus on, where I'm at, the things I do have, what I do have going on right now. And it's so crazy. And I just told my therapist the other day, like, I be feeling ungrateful sometimes. Mm-hmm. I make the amount of money I make, I think it's more than the average American or whatever, but it ain't where I want it to be. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's crazy. A year ago, I did like a $20,000 jump in income. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's fucking great in a year. Mm-hmm. But I still be like, man, if I'd had this income jump with the money that I use for that over there, now I be feeling ungrateful sometimes, and I gotta just like kind of hone in, like, bro, like you legit, you're not a lazy nigga, you know what I mean? And my therapist helped me out with it. She like, you're not lazy, you do this, you do that, like you're progressive, like you're working toward things every single day, like your time is gonna come. This is just your journey. This is just what you got going on, and I gotta constantly be reminded of that shit because I beat myself up about it.
I think real wins come with losses. You know what I'm saying? I think that we be caught up on this black and white thinking of winning and losing, but it's not like just like a basketball season, right? It's like if you lose a game, you didn't lose the season. You just lost a game. Like you got to wait till it's over to see if you won or lost in actuality. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could be the 8th seed and win a fucking championship. Like at the end of the day. You could lose the first game of the season and win a championship, whatever the case may be. And I think that in life, it's more like that of like the loss is part of the journey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the loss might have taught you something that's going to be the reason why you win the next time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's crazy in football. I never believe in undefeated teams. Like, if there's a team that's like, it's week 14, they still haven't lost, I'm like, if they don't lose before the season ends, they're not winning the championship. Because they're not going to know what their weaknesses are. You know, they're not going to know what their weakness is. You know what I'm saying?
I instantly thought about the Patriots and the Giants.
Yeah, like, you're not going to, it's like, it's not a lot to fix. Like, it's stuff that you can still fix when you win. Yeah. But it's not going to be as urgent as if you would have lost, though. You know what I'm saying? And people not going to take it as serious because you're going to have players on the team who like, nigga, we up. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, we ain't doing no double film session study today. Right. Nigga, we won. We 13-0. Fuck what you talking about? So, motherfuckers got to taste that defeat and it bring out a different part of you. And I think it's a lot of shit in life that you just got to tap into your dark side to win. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to tap into your stubbornness, to your selfishness, and to your, sometimes you gotta be a goddamn deadbeat son or a deadbeat cousin and all type of shit to get this win over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be the best nigga to everybody all the time and still win. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. Yeah, that's something I gotta work on. What was I finna say? I forgot, but it's gonna tie into that
for sure. For me, as a leader in a community, I got two things that I had to forgive myself for that was very difficult. Number one was leaving teaching. When I first started teaching, they did something that I had never experienced as a student that I really appreciated. And they put me with a group of guys, and they said, this is going to be your homeroom until they graduate. So it's not going to be a thing to where next year they got a new homeroom teacher. Like, you they homeroom teacher until they graduate. And I love that because, like, I get to build my... Now, I had other classes. They was just, like, my homeroom kids. They was my advisor. I seen them in the morning before, like, not with, well, as soon as school started, they came to me, and then at the end of the day, they came back to me. I held them accountable for everything they did, no matter what it was in the building. They come back at the end of the day, oh, I heard you got in trouble at lunch. I heard this, I heard that, and it'll just go from there. So, they was my boys. Like, they was my boys. Like, I did a lot of shit for them. They taught me more than they could imagine, of course. And the day that I was about to leave, they were in 7th grade. Right?
What year? Oh, so, okay, so it was one year left.
There's 1 year left. They was in 7th grade. And when I told them, this kid named Justin looked me dead in my face, and she was like, the first day we met you, you told us you was gonna be here with us till we left.
Never.
I swear to God, that shit was crazy. I just was like,
yeah, to stay. You supposed to stay.
I couldn't. It was already a done deal. Yeah. Like I didn't want to leave. It was just me and the principal was having so many problems. Like, I had to leave. You know what I'm saying? We was having crazy problems. So, that shit was tough, bro. And I thought it was gonna be easier than that, but his reaction to it, and all of them he said it out loud, but that was it.
You don't even know how much that, and they probably internalized that, especially with the environments they growing up in, and they probably would have associated that with their already existing abandonment issues.
They already had abandonment issues, all of them. You know what I'm saying? So that shit probably made it worse. Yeah. And we had, like, I was young. I was the cool teacher, just in the building. It was only 2 black male teachers in the whole building. We both was relatively young. I was younger, you know what I'm saying? And we just had a great relationship. I just had a great relationship with them. Like, they was really my boys. Like, and yeah, that shit was just tough. I thought they was gonna be on some, oh, we sad you leaving. They was on some, like, we kind of don't fuck with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you an op now.
Yeah, like, we kind of just not fucking with you right now. Like, and I kept in touch with a lot of them, and, you know, when I do see the ones that I haven't kept in touch with, it's love, like, you know, it's love for sure. But that was some hard shit. That was tough, especially my first experience like that. The other thing was leaving FC Network. That was tough. And yeah, and going back to what you said about missed opportunities, right? When I was a kid, I guess when I was like 19, I used to shoot music videos, right? It was like D Games was shooting videos. Zay, this nigga named Money Strong TV named Brian or something like that. He taught me how to edit videos, and you know, it was just them 3. It was really Zay and D Games was like the top niggas though. He was doing his thing too. I ain't gonna discredit that nigga. And, you know, so I'm stepping. I got my camera. I know how to do this shit. Ooh, it's only 3 other niggas to compete with me in the city, and I'm doing it. I'm making like $250 a video. I don't really gotta work no more. I'm happy about what I'm doing. It's my first step out as an entrepreneur, other than selling chips and shit in high school, CDs and shit. Burner. I had the whole ABC Wireless in my life. Anyway, this is like really my second step out as an entrepreneur. First, you know, post high school, and I knew that I needed to learn how to format a video for TV, because I knew my videos would only work on YouTube. But if you put this on a big screen TV, it's not gonna look good. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't feel like learning how to do it either, right? So I was making my money, I was doing my thing, and then I go to a King Louis concert, and I bring my camera in. Back then, you could get in anywhere for free with a camera, because niggas didn't have. It's not like now everybody got a camera. Back then, it's like, you got this camera, nigga. Like, you who? Come on, like, you part of the. I'm like the fucking DJ at this point. I'm just in everywhere for free. So I get in and I record the performance, and my game plan was like, I'm gonna go to artist's performance, I'm gonna record it, then I'm gonna charge them for the footage, because nobody had a cameraman at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I get in contact with his people. I'm like, oh, I got this footage, da-da-da. They like, hey, you want to shoot a video for him? He got this new song for him to come out. You can shoot a video. Ooh, but he's like, it's going to be like, you know, his shit on MTV Jams. So it got to be like nice. I didn't know how to do the shit. And they needed it done like that week. And that shit was like the first time I felt like that major L on an opportunity. And I never forgot that shit. Damn. And that's why with FC Network, I used to be always like, we gotta be on point now, because when the moment come, it's here. Like, it ain't no like, now I gotta learn how to edit real quick, and now I gotta learn how to do, like, we here. Like, we either finna not get this opportunity, we finna be prepared for it. But I think that's why I took it so like serious, is because of that feeling of that. I never forgot that shit. You know what I'm saying? And but also like walking away from it, I feel like it started out just as being a hobby for me and TJ, then it turned into a business, and then it turned into like this family thing. And I think it meant a lot more than podcasting to some people involved. I think it became I feel like it wasn't a hobby for a lot of people. I feel like it just became a part of their life. Mm-hmm. So leaving it felt like I was kind of leaving people hanging, even though it was like, I felt like that's what needed to happen. It just wasn't an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? When
you left, did you feel a relief? Like, did you feel like a weight off your shoulders?
Nah, it was like the opposite.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, it was like the opposite. Cause I didn't feel a relief. Well, eventually I kind of did. Like, I think when Roses Are Dead started, and I kind of was able to just kind of move a little bit more freely and really focus on it and not have to worry about what everybody else doing. That's when I felt like some relief. I'm like, damn, I really can just focus on this and not have to worry about a meeting Sunday about what everybody else got going on. And that felt really, but at first, nah, that shit felt it felt heavy. Like, that shit felt like super heavy. And it felt heavy because it's like, I'm still finna help everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, so it's not like I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm out, I ain't help y'all do shit. I could just go home and get hella sleep at night. Like, no, I still finna help everybody. I'm not finna just leave niggas hanging. So it's just that the struggle of organizing everybody ain't gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was a tough thing, man. And I think the hardest part of that was feeling like some people was gonna stop that needed to keep going. That was the hardest part. Was like, I don't know, like, I can't. Me and Jody used to always have these conversations about, some people was like starting their show, some people wasn't. And we used to always have these conversations like, I'm not going to push nobody to start, because if I push them to start, I'm going to have to push them to finish. So whenever he start is when he start. Whenever she start is when she start. But if I keep saying like, man, do it, when you start, I'm going to have to push you every fucking week to record or to do this and to that. And at that point, niggas had started. Everybody had started. So it was just like damn, like, is niggas going to just stop? You know what I'm saying? And that's not up to me, but at the same time, I felt responsible to an extent. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was difficult. And I ain't tight with and I talked about that at the meeting when I did walk away from it. It was like, I'm not really tight with my family like that. So like, it really did become like deeper than podcasting for me, because like I told y'all, like, we ain't never been to an FC Network event, and I was like, hey, here go my mama.
Yeah.
Like, here go my dad, here go my cousin, here go anybody in my family. I've met all of y'all people. Like, y'all ain't never met none of my people, and that's not by coincidence.
Yeah.
So it was just like, shit. But I never felt no way about it, because I was, shit, like, y'all kind of was my people, or are my people, you know what I'm saying? So that made it difficult too. And I also already have like, this a lot. I also already have like survivor's remorse from my childhood, being that I grew up at my grandma's house initially with all my cousins. So I had 5 cousins, 1 passed away. So then it was 5 of us total, me and my 4 cousins, and my mom, their mom, and my grandparents. We used to get in trouble together. We used to all sleep in the same bed. Somebody pissed in the bed, then we all smell like piss the next day. Somebody get their ass whooped, get in trouble, stole some shit. We gonna just take the L together. We gonna share a video game. We sharing clothes, all of that. And then suddenly my mom and my father figured it out, and now I'm out of there. And I got my own video game. I got my own room. I got my own clothes. I got my own everything. I felt bad about it. I felt terrible about it. I'm not getting in trouble with y'all no more. I come over here, y'all on punishment. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going home to play my game. It just felt terrible, bro. It just felt like I didn't do anything to deserve a father. Right? I got lucky.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else's father just happened to just not be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why the situation was what it was. But I didn't do nothing to deserve having a father. I didn't do nothing special. But the trajectory of my life was completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just leaving the house and having shit that they didn't have. It was, you know, not having to worry about some of the stuff that they had to worry about. And my life just was a lot easier than theirs. You know what I'm saying? And now it's still kind of that way to an extent. You know? Like, I just had a better hand dealt to me than they did.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't do nothing to deserve that. But we all started together. So that is something that still fuck with me to this day. And talking about forgiving ourselves, I don't know if that's something that you forgive yourself, because I didn't do shit wrong to nobody, but at the same time, it's just like I felt guilty. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like the FC Network thing kind of was like, damn, if I leave FC Network and then I make it with podcasting, is that the same thing? Like, just repeating itself. You know what I'm saying? Especially if everybody else quit. Well, not everybody else, but like if other people quit and just stop and stay where they at, and I just like take off. Like, damn, did I just like leave everybody again like I did when I was a kid? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a hell of a thought, man. That's a hell of a thought.
Yeah, like
thoughts.
It's a lot, bro. It should be a lot. But that's damn near all I got, bro. I think I had one more question. You had something else?
Nah, I hit my 3.
What's the likelihood that you will make some of these mistakes again that you made before, whether it be in fatherhood, relationship, or leadership?
The one that came to mind, the one that I would not most likely, I'm going to say that, but it's likely that I could possibly make that mistake again, is feeling bad about like a failed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with the relationship shit, nah, because that was the whole purpose. That was the whole point of like coming out of that space, getting a therapist, learning boundaries, learning what I'm gonna stand for, what I want to deal with, etc. Like that's in place. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely not doing that shit again. And then fatherhood, like I didn't even that shit. We gonna see. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, I mean, with the business and leadership shit, it could happen again, because I feel like I still, you know, I put my faith in people a lot, and you know, I'm always open to including people in things, so it could happen again. And you know, that just is what it is. But the relationship thing, that's something I can say absolutely. The parenthood thing, no, I might get a fucking vasectomy. But the relationship thing, it wouldn't happen again. Same thing with the therapy, but it's just what I learned is like it's boundaries you put in place so shit don't happen. So you didn't even get close to it. Like I would never deal with anything remotely related. Like anybody who even get my nervous system jumping like that, I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah, nah.
At all. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I remember
run away.
I remember when I was dealing with the sex addiction shit in therapy, and you know, it was like, oh, you gotta stop having sex. You gotta stop having sex. That's all my therapist was on. Like, stop masturbating, stop watching porn, stop doing this, stop having sex. I realized I had to stop drinking.
Oh yeah.
That didn't have shit to do with sex, but it did, because that shit led to me being irresponsible. So it's just like putting a boundary outside of the boundary. And that's kind of how I am with the relationship shit. It's just like, because I don't want that to happen again, I got all type of boundaries like, around certain shit, to where it's just like, yeah, I ain't fucking with it. So
for sure.
That's that. And then my last question for you is, did you get forgiveness from the people that was affected by the mistakes you made? And whether you did or didn't get their forgiveness, how do you feel about it?
Did I get forgiveness from?
Yeah. So like, whether it be the girl you was in a relationship with, I don't know if you felt like you seeked forgiveness for that, but I mean, you was being a fuck nigga at the time. Like, you was being a fuck nigga at the time. So I'm pretty sure you did some fuck shit. Like, you know what I'm saying, around that time. So
did I get forgiveness from them?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Maybe for your situations, forgiveness. For my situation, forgiveness is definitely a thing. But for yours, maybe it should be closure. I don't know.
Yeah, probably closure. Yeah, I'll go with closure versus forgiveness, because I wouldn't be a fuck boy.
Okay.
Did I get closure?
I could just, when I was in a situation like that in college, and it wasn't that, like, I never agreed to none of that shit. I guess I agreed without agreeing. I never verbally agreed, but I knew when it was like, bitch, you better stop playing with me. And I'm like, I'm fucking with you still, though, but you better stop fucking with that nigga. So,
closure.
I was doing some fuck shit at the time.
Did I ever get closure? Yeah, I did.
All right.
We had conversations.
For sure.
After the fact. Yeah.
How you feel about that? Like,
no way.
no,
Indifferent.
for
I
sure.
don't feel like that. I don't feel like I needed it. We
Okay.
We didn't link up for closure. Like we was just kicking it one time and we just got to talking.
Yeah,
And cleared some shit up on her end, my end. And, okay.
for sure.
That wasn't the intention of us,
Getting together that
talk.
day.
Yeah.
For me, I would say I did get forgiveness like damn near that day. like it was almost like immediate. I felt like she knew that was way out of my character. We've been knowing each other for years, so she knew that was way out of my character. And part of her forgiving me was blaming herself for it a lot. She blamed herself for that shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what led up to that and how it went down. She was like, I really just brought the worst out of you with my decision making and things like that. But again, like me not buying into the thought that it was her fault and understanding that like regardless of whatever the fuck you did, that can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that type shit. But the forgiveness did mean a lot to me at the same time. To know I would have the amount of grief and regret I felt during that time, it would have been 100 times worse if she was like, nigga, you wild as hell, like you bogus. Like if she was like on my ass about it.
Right. If she didn't give you as much grace.
Yeah, I would have probably felt it probably would have took way longer to get past that. You know what I'm saying?
Are y'all still like in contact? Do y'all know?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Super cool.
Okay. For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got, man. You got AMP?
For sure. All right. Let me tell y'all about. I ain't gonna say no name, but I'm gonna tell y'all about a story about a guy named John. I'm gonna tell you about how John fumbled his wife. Right.
Shit.
Yeah. So when John was single, he was enjoying himself. He was enjoying his own company. He was taking himself on dates or whatever, just enjoying his own company. And also while he was doing all of this, he was, on these dates, probably having sex with women. He was having sex with women, casually or whatever, multiple partners. Anything he wanted to do, he did it, whatever. And by definition, I mean, he's not wrong. He's single. He can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, whatever. It's his rules. It's his life, right? So he was doing all of this, and he was doing this for a while. One day he met a woman, and you know how like guys, you meet somebody and you feel like she's special. It's like, man, like, oh man, this the one. I get it right for her. I'll stop all this shit for her. So he met that woman, right? So he met her, he shot his shot at her, and his past came back to bite him in the ass. While he was single, doing whatever he wanted to do, he slept with somebody that she knew, the girl that he really wanted, right? And it was just casual sex with her. So he slept with her, and she found out about it. And just because she was that caliber of woman, even though that her and that girl wasn't like super close, that was too close to home for her. And it was just too messy for that type of woman. So she passed on him, and he would have stopped everything for her. So as you out here in your single phase, yes, you can do what you want to do. You can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. You grown. You're going to ask nobody. You need to be thinking about, your future self and how your current actions could possibly come back and bite you in the ass, and you fuck around and fumble your person. So, yeah.
Yeah, story of my life. Thanks. Am I John?
Actually, not. Are you John?
Did this nigga just sneak diss me?
Damn.
Damn, that's crazy.
I know you
man.
fumbled your wife.
Chill out, man. As we always say, man, whatever you chasing in life, make sure you go out after it full speed ahead. Don't let up. Keep your foot on the gas. Don't be afraid to shoot your shot in any situation. Don't hesitate. Long range, short range, off the glass, whatever you need to do, make it happen for what you want in life, man. Shoot your shot.
Shoot the shoot.
God in the cake.